Hello everybody, welcome back. This is race 10 of the Infinity GT Manufacturer Series. This is season 2. We're at Sardegna road track today. This is a reverse grid race, hence why I'm in P1. That wouldn't ordinarily happen. I'm only in P1 because I was last in the last one. So yeah, but yeah, Sardegna, it will suit the Ford this actually because it's a power track, so the Ford should do alright, but there's quite a few power cars on the grid. Let's go through. We've got Mutt 36 right next to me. He's going to be a big threat in that VW. MG Jason in the Toyota. That will come alive in the second stint, or it should do. Has 91, another dangerous VW. Decals, another Toyota. We've got Pav 46 in the Alpha. Probably not the Alpha's strong point this track, but it's still, all being said, it's still a good car, so should do well. James Harben in the Audi should go well around here. Put him at pot, another Alfa Romeo. And for the cat Fat Pickles Bro down at the back of the grid, these two cars will get away extremely well, so they'll be mixing it up at the top very quickly. MRC Bobby in the Peugeot. I was going to think of something nasty to say about it then, but whatever I say can't be broadcast. LS Deno in the BMW and KB in the other BMW. So these guys from the back of the grid who are now fighting for dominance within the manufacturer series are obviously looking to pull some sort of strategy out the hat today. Let's get underway with the race. So two VWs do bog down, the Alpha's behind, get a really good start. James Harben bogs down. As you can see, Fat Pickles Bro and Thundercat are absolutely launching themselves through the field. And we've got an absolute melee of cars coming down to turn 1. Thundercat's just about going to pip everyone else. Pav 46 has got a good start as well. MG Jason's mixing it up there. He's had a good start in the Toyota. Mutt 36 down to P5 then after the start. That's just the way the FF cars get off the grid. Then who else we got? Pot in P6 at the minute. He's just ahead of an absolute horde of cars though. Decals is going for a move up the inside. LS Deno on the outside. James Harben all the way down to P12. We saw there momentarily. It's getting very claustrophobic here. All manner of chaos is happening. LS Deno's wide. Someone else got a whack as well. Pot seems to have survived that one. MRC Bobby alongside him. That's really affected the BMW though. The BMW was climbing up really nicely. LS Deno, but he's been shunted back down a few places. Meanwhile, up at the top, Thundercat and myself having a nice little battle. Mutt's regained his composure and is getting back up there. MRC Bobby in the RCZ, that should go like that, clappers that thing. So he should do well on here today. Then we've got Potter in the Alpha, just runs it a bit wide, does Potter. Sorry, not Potter, Pav. So Potter and Pav have actually swapped around. What else is going on? Checking with the front, so myself managed to pull a little bit of a gap to Thundercat. There's this big long straight though, it's this slipstream heaven here. You need to be staying in that slipstream all the way down this straight. As you can see, I've got a decent gap to everyone else. There's all the cars streamed out. Bobby and Jason then. So Bobby's going for that P4, gets the move done before the braking zone. I've got LS Deno going for a move on Pav as well, the BMW driver. Oh, no, it wasn't Pav, it was Potter. Potter's lost it. What happened there? Oh, it was Potter. Yeah, it was Pav that he was battling with. What happened with Potter? Oh, he just carried too much speed in, and around he went. LS Deno and Pav still battling away for that P7. KB's looking to get in on the action as well. Pav will of course fight that one right through to the bitter end. So the Alpha's not having a great start to things. Potentially Pav's looking at losing a place to Fat Pickles Bro as well. He's going to just position his car on the insides. I think Pav's going to have the grip, but he scrapes the wall. That's going to affect his pace down the back straight. This is where the Alphas do come undone a little bit. They just haven't got the power, and now there's an Audi coming down behind him as well, and another VW. So Pav's in trouble here if he doesn't keep his nose ahead of a few cars. Two BMWs then, 7th and 8th at the minute, but they might be doing something tricky with their strategy. I think them guys starting at the back of the grid, they'd be daft not to do something. And I'm still leading the way. So the thing is with myself, when I get out in front, I tend to be alright. I've just had a very, very unlucky season. Not helped by poor car choice at the start of it, just not really in the zone at any point this season, so kind of written this one off already, but just racing to have fun really, hence the random manufacturer choices every week that I seemingly just pick out of a hat. Same for Bobby though, as he sets the fastest lap of the race in that Peugeot. Mutt 36 going for a move on Thundercat as well. He's going to get that move done under braking. Thundercat's kind of flying on the outside. That Subaru's got superb grip and manages to keep the position. That's some great defending by Thundercat. That's going to put more under pressure on Bobby. Let's all go in the battle for P2. Let's see if anything's going on a little bit further back. Fat Picklesbow has gone past Pav. Oh, I was saying that, and he's just gone wide there. Fat Picklesbow taking on some grass. James Harbour looking for a move on Pav as well now. And that's where the Audi might well get him. This is on board James's visor cam. A new addition for season 2. He's going to line up a move on Pav 46. Fat Picklesbow moves to defend though. But just realises the Audi's got the overspeed, might be better off at this stage of the race to let him go. James Harbour gets his braking done nice and tidy there, and he's up to P9, so 2 cars in 1 there for James Harbour, a nice move. Now the 2 BMWs chasing down the Toyota of Nicolaitis. Nicolaitis had just lost a slip to his compadre ahead, Jason. Jason has reeled Bobby in over the last couple of laps. Mutt 36 has got past Thundercat, we saw there, so he's now going to begin the process of chasing me down the straight line. That VW's a lot quicker than the Ford is. The Ford should be better in the twisties, but its tyres don't last an absolute age. But I did enjoy the Ford. I felt it was quite a good stable car. Let's see what's happening down into T1. Anything? Not an absolute lot. Oh, how's that? Everyone just gets it a bit squirrely. Put him at pot then. It's had an issue somewhere that, well, that issue that we saw a lap ago, he's not recovered from it. I said down in P13 pot and all by himself. So that's pretty much the order sorted out. It's took 4 laps for it to happen, but everyone's where they feel comfortable now. Jump forward to lap 5 then. I smashed the wall for good measure, and I'm about to do it again if memory serves me right. So yeah, just a little bit of scruffy driving from me. It's going to bring Mutt 36 right up my chuffer, and then just coming around the fast sweeping right left-hander, just catch the grass on entry and it just unsettles the car. And as you can see, I just move out of the way to get out of Mutt's way because he's going to get past. So I might as well just let him take the racing line. Didn't want to slow him up too much, it would have slowed us both down in the end. But my plan is really just to try and recover from this. As you can see, I'm in prime slipstream zone for maximum suck effect down this straight. And I'm right on Mutt's back end. So he's waiting for the opportunity. He doesn't defend. And he lets me go up. So me and Mutt weirdly working together at this point in the race. Maybe without that communication. We are GTTCC teammates, so we kind of know how each other races, and we both just let each other pass without hindrance there. Didn't cost us any time to the guys behind. Bobby has managed to get past Thundercat, that Peugeot proving powerful in a straight line. Nicolaitis has been under pressure from the 2 BMWs, but like I say, I've got a feel the BMWs are just biding their time. Well, certainly have been in it. Well, KB got a brilliant run out there on Nicolaitis now, but it's just not going to be able to make a move happen here. You can't really pass down here, but it is a good opportunity to get in the slipstream for the back straight. There's a big braking zone at the end of this. For what is probably the tightest corner on the track. That's where the cars go their slowest. So let's see if either of these guys defend this. Does Nicolaitis pull out? KB doesn't go for it. But Nicolaitis just outbrakes himself there, I think, a little bit. Just worrying maybe a bit too much about the BMW behind him. And Nicolaitis is down the meet in the BMW sandwich. Chasing those guys down is James Harbour, up to P9, as we saw a couple of laps ago. But he's not really reeled anyone else in since that. Fat Pickles P10. Is he going for the no stop? We will see. We've seen something happen there. What happened to Nicolaitis? Because James Harbour got past him. 1 second, let me see what happened here. Oh, he smashed into the wall, did Nicolaitis, and that left Deno through, and James Harbour got past as well. So James up to P8 then, just after I said he wasn't making any progress. He goes and makes an overtake, so nice one. Meanwhile, at the top, still leading is myself in the Fords. Again, Mutt just tucked himself nice into my slipstream. He'll probably be saving a little bit of fuel while he's doing so. That VW should be catching me a lot quicker than it is. So Mutt probably just saving a little bit of fuel. I wasn't really that bothered, so I was just driving. Bobby's giving a bit of a tow to a few cars behind. Jason's managed to get back into this now. And then the BMWs are chasing these guys down. We're approaching the pit stop phase now, so the work everyone's done in stint 1 will show themselves when the pits are all done and dusted. It's a good track for an undercut, this. So you come in a lap sooner than everyone else and just hope to get the jump on everyone in the pits. As we do march towards the pit stop phase of this race, MRC Bobby's coming under all sorts of pressure. He's lost the slipstream to Mutt. That happened a few laps ago. And now he's just given a tow to Thundercat and Jason. So Thundercat now in a position where he's thinking of a move coming down this back straight. Bobby's in a superior fast car. Is Thundercat going to be able to get this move done? Looks like he's going a little bit late on the brakes. It's going to get very tight. It suddenly gets very tight down here, and trying to fit two cars side by side doesn't always work. Into a fast sweeping section now. You don't want to go side by side here. Bobby's line looks to be a little bit compromised. Thundercat's cut it wide. Jason cuts in. Let's just go on board with Thundercat for that and just see how that looks. Yeah, he carried too much speed in here. His turn was a little bit too late. Smack the wall for good measure. I've done that myself, as you've seen. We've got KB now really caught up with this lot. KB's going for a move into P5. Again, the BMW's just really keeping the nose clean. They've had a good first. KB's looking for a move past Jason as well. Jason's going to dip into the pits. I've dipped into the pits as well. So I'm coming in a lap early. For me, it was to protect against the undercut, although I know that I needed to put more fuel. I'd use the most fuel out of absolutely everybody, so I was going to come down. I was not going to be in P1 when the pit stops were over. I knew that. It's just because I didn't bother fuel saving. It's my own fault. I'm not mad at all. So just while things work themselves out then, these guys will all want good in laps, because a lot of these guys are going to pit at the end of this lap, and they'll want a fast in lap. Because they know that the people that they are racing against, a lot of them now are going to be on fresh tyres. I come out in P10 to tell you how much longer I spent in the pits. I've come out behind Bobby. I was in P1, Bobby was in like P4 or 5, something like that. So yeah, shows you how much time I lost. I did manage to keep ahead of Jason though. Pot had given up on it at this point. Didn't have a great start to the race. We'll just see how this works itself out. I guess Fat Pickles both still fighting with Nicolaitis. Pav's joined that fight as well. Now the rest of the group are in the pits. As you can see, and myself, where do I filter out into all this? A rather dangerous pit lane incident about to happen. So I'm wiped. Let's just go back and have a look at this. This is from my POV, this is what I would have seen, so I can see the pit lane. And you see James there. James moves, and he moves to get out of my way. So we were on chat, and he was immediately sort of apologetic about the incident. If you look in the rear view, you can see me coming in. He moves to get out of my way. I wasn't expecting him to move to get out of my way, so I went left. And yeah, that's kind of the end of my race. So I'm out. Pav 46 has not yet pitted, so he's out in P1, but he may be coming in again. Bobby then ahead of the BMWs. So it's okay to say how much fuel these guys put in the pit stops. The fuel they've got's got to last them another 12 and a bit minutes. Mutt 36 P5 for Mutt, so he's plainly put enough fuel in. My fear is the BMWs, have they put enough in? We'll see. Thundercat them. Was having a really good start to the race. Similar to me, his pit stops, he probably had to put a little bit more in. It's put him a little bit further back. He's now coming under pressure from MG Jason. In fact, because his compadre is not too far behind either. And James Harbin P9, he's dropped a couple of places in the pits, but that's because he spent the pit stop wiping me out. Sorry, not sorry, James. But he's got an opportunity now. He can make something of this race. James does firmly blame the pit lane exit for that incident, and I can see what he means, because you literally emerge on the racing line. It's a bit pants. Oh, Bobby and KB battling it out then. So Bobby's literally got a face full of BMW in his rear view mirror. You can see LS Deno Mutt 36 battling away behind as well. Mutt 36 goes for a move down the inside of the BMW, so he's now up to P4. The VW strong in a straight line. He's just got to take care of those tyres now. And Thundercat is fending off a horde. So James Harbin's looking to get involved in this little scuffle as well. MG Jason in the tail. Oh, Thundercat just drifts it round the corner. Let me have a look at that again. What does he do here? He gets a little tap there, to be fair to him, and then the back end just goes, well, you look at that. I need to dub some Tokyo Drift music over that. I don't know if I've got any. I'll have a look when I'm doing editing. We'll get some dun 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 dun. We'll see what we can do. So this battle for P6 now encompassing 4 cars, and James Harbin in the power Audi, the OP Audi, looking to potentially get himself up the order a little bit. He's got a run on Pickles. Jason did have a run on Thundercat, but backed out at the last minute. James Harbin backed out of his move as well. Let's check in on everyone else. So KB is past Bobby. I'm not sure when that happened, but KB now up to P2. So like I said at the start, the BMW seem to have pulled something out of the sleeve with this today. They start right at the back of the grid, don't forget. Pav 46 now pits from the lead. It should be quite a short pit stop for Pav, but he might come out in the middle of all this. And we'll see what happens to him. Hopefully no chaos when he emerges. He's going to come out at least P5. But he's still in the pits, so he's going to come down even further than that. Out he comes out. James Harbin nearly wipes another one out. Then he takes another one down. Oh, Pickles went deep then. Wait, that's what she said. So it's I was going to say it's Subaru, but Fat Pickles is getting swallowed up by Jason and James now. This is a battle that could rage on until the end. Pav 46 has come out in P9 ahead of Nicolaidis and Has. Nicolaidis' race came undone quite early on, I'm afraid. He's now just playing catch up. LS Dano trying to get back past Mutt. KB assumes the lead of the race following the pit stop of Pav 46. Bobby's just trying to stop the rampaging BMWs, really. If he can keep KB in his sights, that Peugeot's fast enough in a straight line to reel the BMW in. BMW's going to be a little bit better in its twisties, and its tyres aren't anywhere near as bad. Meanwhile, a little bit further back in the battle for P5, Thundercat leading away to Fat Pickles Bro. Now we've got MG Jason and James Harbin battling it out for that P7 spot. Pav 46 coming in, increasing pressure from Nicolaidis, who takes to off-roading to get past his opponent but doesn't manage to get it done. Has 91 climbing all over the back of Nicolaidis now as well. He's just put his fastest lap of the race in, Has 91, so he's on his pace. 49.1. And Has does manage to get past Nicolaidis. And the Toyota driver down into P11, the last running car on the grid at the minute. James Harbin on MG Jason. Now just managed to get that done. So let me just check in on this. Bobby and Mutt fighting. I've just seen this on the map. Sorry. So Mutt's had a great start to his second stint, back up to P2 then. That's pretty much where he's been running most of the race. He now leads to Bobby and LS Dano. Okay, this is all allowing KB just to storm away into the distance. And it's all goes. The two FF cars go side by side down the back straight. Who's got the biggest testicles under braking? Mutt's got the inside line, but Bobby's going to try and hold it around the outside. Nice move by Bobby there, but Mutt's not going to give up that easily. Although he does just have to tuck in through this bit like we've demonstrated. Too wide for you is very dangerous. So Mutt just tucks back in. He's going to look to get that move made down the long front straight. Lots of cars running wide out here, so sometimes a move into the last corner was definitely doable. But for the time being, P2 is definitely not over. We don't yet know what our podium's going to be, and we're only going for 5 more minutes. Fat Pickles Bro then got past Thundercat, so he's now up to P5. James Harbin P7 for him. He's got opportunities as well. Don't forget he's in the fastest probably the fastest straight line car on the grid. Pav 46 has got himself past MG Jason, and Nicolaidis has got himself past Has 91. Has must have had an incident somewhere. He's weaving around all over the place to shake some dirt off his tyres, so he's had an off-track excursion at some point. So Bobby then leading away to Mutt still. Mutt's going to go for the move, but again has to just back out of it at the last minute. LS Dano, I think he's just waiting to pick up the scraps of this fight. He's just keeping a nice constant pace. The battle for 5th is still going on. This has not yet been settled. Thundercat gets it a bit wide on exit, picks up a little bit of grass. That's going to let James Harbin through into P6. So the Audi driver can now get after the other Subaru. Nicolaidis then up to P8 for Nicolaidis. He's had a decent recovery so far. There must have been some incidents here down back. Pav 46 and Jason scrapping away for 10th now. Nothing changed at the top so far. So Fat Pickles will go a little bit deep there. That's going to give the Audi a little bit of time to catch up. We're coming towards the end of lap 14. You can just see how fast that Audi is through this section. It really is mighty. And then a big braking zone. This is probably the Audi's weak point, low speed corners. He needs to get himself a good run out here. James Harbin, he should be okay, but as you can see, the Subaru's just got much better traction, and that initial breakaway zone just enables him to defend against the superior power of the Audi, at least through the first part of the straight. James Harden's car now really starts to ramp itself up. VTEC has kicked in, yo. And the Audi's going to go for the move around the outside, though he's going to have to do it the hard way. And he's ahead up to P5. I did get a little bit late on the brakes. That's like Pickles come back at a fight for him. Not much change up top. Still fighting away. KB's last lap was a 50.0, and he's going slower again. So either his tyres are going off or he's fuel saving. So my theory, watching this, is the BMWs are underfueled, or at least one of them's underfueled. Because Dano's still in the 49.6 as he's done 2 laps exactly the same, and KB's under pressure now from Bobby. Bobby's done this move a few times, just hold it around the outside and job done. So KB's at risk of losing a space to Mutt as well. Mutt gets him as well. Does Dano get him? It's all. In fact, we'll just go on to the standard bonnet cam for this one. There we go. KB's going to hold it down the inside of Bobby. A little bit of contact on the apex. If it's BMW v Peugeot in a straight line, it pains me to say this, but the Peugeot's going to have it. You can hear how much Dano's short shifting. So he's really having to save fuel in that BMW at the minute. What's KB like? He's revving his out a little bit more. We'll just stick with him through the first sector and see what he's like. Yeah, he's short shifting as well, not as much. Definitely not as much. Can Dano get Bobby then? It's going to be close, especially for this podium. Anyone could have it yet. James Harden is lapping Potter. Potter's back 17 laps down at the minute because he's spent most of his race in the pits. But a P5 for James Harden at the minute. If any of the guys up ahead run out of fuel, he could realistically get himself further up as well. This is kind of settled down now. The one battle that hasn't settled down is Decals v Pav. These are very similar cars in terms of ability. They're both handling cars, so not exactly suited to this circuit. Let's keep an eye on this battle for the top then. Mutt 36 starting to pull away. Dano and Bobby fighting. Dano getting the better of Bobby for the time being. Again, just by how much the BMWs are short shifting, they're either saving the fuel for the last lap, or they're genuinely in a little bit of a crisis. Bobby is all over the back of that BMW, and James Harden is catching them as well. They're going to get one more lap out of this, because a lot of these guys are going to pass the finish line before the timer runs out. We've got 25 seconds remaining. So they're going to go ahead and do a 17 lap. So Mutt 36 going to start the last lap as the leader. KB in P2, Dano in P3, Bobby P4, James Harden P5, but with a good run on Bobby. James knows to go to the right hand side. And the Audi TT's got that move done, under braking. Bobby tries to fight it, but it's kind of futile at this point. Pot, who's technically finished the last running car through the last lap's Fat Pickles. Pav 46 finished P7, Thundercat P8, MG Jason P9, Decals P10, Has91 P11. Let's keep an eye on this though. So the fight at the top. I'm kind of curious to see if anyone runs out of fuel. Mutt 36 is that far ahead now. Even if he runs out of fuel, he's probably still got enough momentum to get him across the finish line. Coming towards the end of the lap, we've just got that tight twisty section to go, and then that's pretty much it, lap done. What's going to happen here? There's everyone managed to get through this section alive. Yep, so far so good. James is really pushing for a podium here. He can smell it. The BMWs are massively fuel saving. Decals just gets it snapped off under braking as well. James is going to get a good run on him here. Let's give him up 36 some coverage though. His I want to say it's his first win, but I might be wrong on that. But either way, a damn good result from up 36 in the VW. P1 for him. P2 to KB, and James Harmon's going to snatch P3 at the end because Decals ran out of fuel. Let's go on board and see if we can sense the moment it happened. Yeah, there he goes. Monica! And James Harmon gets P3. Bobby P5, but Potter's going to overtake him on the line for Bance, and then Fat Pickles Bro P6. Potter's given me a handbrake, I think. Oh, he was going to. Right then. Week 5. All done and dusted, 1 week to go. Let's see how the Drivers' Championship is looking. A few little moves. Dano moves himself up, so does KB. It's pretty much static at the top with Pickles, Nicolaitis and Pav maintaining the top 3 spots, although they have had bad weeks, so it's all sort of closed up a little bit. A couple of other movers in there as well. In terms of the manufacturers, this is where it gets interesting. So Alfa and Subaru joint top and 238 points. BMW all the way up there, 223. They can still win this thing. Right at the bottom, whatever me and Bobby are doing, we've had all our points stripped off for being idiots, but hey, we've had fun. Next week, back to the GT3s for the final 2 races of Season 2, St. Croix and Spa-Francorchamps. Don't forget to join us for that. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, subscribe and all that stuff. Goodbye.